Well, guys, in other news, that ain't Russell Brand and a bunch of his former groupies trying to me to him. I keep seeing various people claiming Russia's behind the influx of migrants we're seeing in Europe, obviously relating to the Ukraine proxy war bollocks and all that. This comes from Isabel Oakeshott, who claims she got some intelligence that it was Russia sending the migrants, despite her being some second-rate journalist I doubt is privy to Russian plans against the West. But even if it's true, it is still bollocks because the people to blame for migrants are not sitting thousands of miles away in Moscow. No, they're sitting much closer in the cesspit known as Westminster and the House of Bloody Commons. This I say because even if Putin is sending thousands of migrants into Europe, it's our own governments that let them in. Obviously, Russia don't control our borders, so how can they be blamed for sending a bunch of migrants into our bloody country? The same is also true for the EU at the end of the day, because it don't matter who's sending the migrants, the people responsible for stopping them are the government, and the moment they don't, the blame lies solely with them. This is why, as I've said 100 times before, I don't even blame migrants for wanting to come over here, because if we lived in the shitholes they did, we'd also want to do the same. No, the people I blame are the scumbag politicians who allow them to do it, and in the case of the West, roll out the fucking red carpet. And the left can scream international law and all this all they like, but in reality, international law means jack shit. It's broken 20 times a day by most countries and no one bloody cares. Take Russia for instance, a member of the United Nations who's breaking international law with the war in Ukraine, and they couldn't give a flying fuck. The most that can happen is sanctions, which, let's be honest, Russia have shown us are completely useless, so any European government could stop illegal immigration dead today if they wanted. Remember, they changed the laws on the fly for the pandemic, so they could do the same for migrants at the drop of a hat. The trouble is they don't and will literally never want to, so in my mind, whoever is sending them comes second to the scumbags on our doorstep letting them in. Then, of course, we must remember it was our own corrupt governments that destabilised most of the third world, which helped create the situation in the first place. So, in reality, it's Western politicians who are to blame from start to bloody finish, and even the corrupt media whores who love to ignore that fact.
Wankers! Wankers!
Pandemic.
Where